Hello and welcome to the director's commentary. I hesitated there because it's also director and writer of the Pumpkin Man 3. I was the director, and I'm joined by Jeff Rhodes, the writer.
Hello.
Oh, that was more professional than the podcast.
I drew a blank. I couldn't say anything, so I just said hello.
So you just decided to be professional for once in your life. That was wonderful.
I was just weak and I couldn't think of anything.
We've already lost our entire audience. Thanks, Jeff. So we are continuing our series of director commentaries with The Pumpkin Man 3. And the reason Jeff is here is because this was kind of our baby for a couple months. And I mean, there's not a single Pumpkin Man movie that it's not like both of our projects. Like we wholeheartedly work on these together. But this one was different. This one was huge.
This one gave me high blood pressure. Fact.
It's true. But yeah, this movie, most ambitious thing we've ever done. And I think it definitely shows. So we're going to
Yeah. I showed him my grades too, because I failed every single class because I was doing this. To be honest,
I was almost in the same boat, but I passed. Oh, we are just the worst. You start off with our lovely old Nautical Films logo.
I liked it.
It was
a crowd
good.
favorite.
It was good, but I couldn't make it 4K. Now, contrary to popular belief, I do not play the same character that I did in Pumpkin Man 2. I played myself in Pumpkin Man 2.
That is true,
Here I'm playing a character named Steven who really loves to hit doors.
We never addressed your name in this whole entire movie. Like in the script it said, did we?
Yeah, because Alex says his name multiple times.
I haven't seen this one in a while. I feel like that, like, there's someone's name we didn't address. They're like, "Oh, who's this guy?" And we're like, "Oh."
I think it was. Might
have been my character.
No, it was Kayla's character.
Was it Kayla?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my name.
We never like actually say that that's her name. And getting off topic here. But this what you're seeing now is I will not try to take credit for this. This was a template from After Effects because we just didn't have the time to
fair enough,
to make something like this. And I really wanted to sell that, this was a higher budget production, even though it was not at all.
Not at all.
And there's my alias, Bucky Jackson sound mixer.
That's a stupid ass alias. I'm sorry.
I was so tired of seeing my name in the credits over and over and over, so I just stuck an alias in there, and it worked. Whatever. Then we have executive producer Jeff Rhodes. Look at that.
Yeah, get used to seeing that. I executive produced the shit out of stuff.
That's a fact. And now we are going into our first scene, which I think
I forgot my big was in this movie. Last minute casting.
This scene is pretty terrible, honestly.
It is.
It's really bad, and we'll get to why in a little bit. This I think is pretty funny. This was, I believe, improv.
Yeah, it was because we couldn't find caution tape anywhere, so I bought this one at Party City.
Yeah. And if you can't see it, it says "Party in Progress," like "Happy Birthday, 21 years old."
That's kind of tormented, like a crime scene. This "Party in Progress."
Yeah, and this is one of Jeff's old teachers who's playing the character of Ed,
Stephen Foxworthy.
Stephen Foxworthy. He gave a really good performance. Honestly,
by far, is the best actor out of anybody in this cast because he's like a trained theater actress.
Him and Alex did a really good job acting off of each other.
Like you said, they're both trained stage performers. So it
absolutely.
Makes sense. The worst performance is
right
me.
here. I hate these interviews or
Oh,
interrogations.
you hate your my interview is the worst. It literally gives me AIDS.
Well, the reason I hate it so much is because these were supposed to be shot in an actual interrogation room.
Oh yeah,
we were talking with Ball State's campus.
and they said no.
No, they said yes, and
Wait,
they
wait.
never got back to us. Remember, they kept on like stringing us along and would never actually set something up.
Oh,
like-
yeah, I'm thinking about my other project I had with the Ball States. They're shady.
Okay. With Ben, this was just hilarious. And I remember specifically, this was like a big laughing moment at the premiere. Like everyone in the theater was laughing.
Yeah, the people in the background were laughing, like all the extras and stuff we had.
Oh, yeah.
we weren't in the scene. We couldn't. We were like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, this is when I was getting really mad because some people
oh god,
like
let's skip this.
we can't skip it, Jeff.
Oh my god,
But-
hate. I will never act again unless I have a mask on. Fact.
But yeah, there were people like talking off screen, and this was at the end of like an 8-hour shoot day. Like we were shooting 4
Yeah.
scenes back to back, and we were running out of time. And everyone was just really crabby and not in a good mood. And
Yeah.
it sucks that this is like the second scene because like even our lighting started to get really lazy. And it shows, and I just it makes me cringe every time I watch the scene.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, me being like more of a like I'm the actor in this kind of like scene, and me being in the background just hanging out with like my brothers who were the extras. We were like let's go. Like I'm done. Like let's go to the house, and because it's been a long day, I want like a beer or two. But yeah, it kind of does show. It's kind of sad, but it's also I still think it's like everybody but my interview was funny. It was kind of like a comic relief kind of thing, but you know I don't think it matched the rest of the tone for the movie.
Yeah, we played it for laughs too soon. That jump scare is terrible. I hate that jump scare. But this scene, this next right here, I really really love this scene, and. You know, one thing Jeff and I had really talked about before going into this one is we wanted to, because this one was post Alone, so we really wanted to like up the creep factor and bring in some of the elements that I used in Alone. And one of the things that I did in Alone was a lot of slow paced tension, and we don't really get that in any of the Pumpkin Man movies except for this one. And you know it's mostly because we had the time to do it. But I really love drawing this scene out, and I really think the tone and the isolation of this scene really really works.
Yeah, the only reason I'm sick of seeing this scene is because like I also like watched you edit like some of the movie, but like this is also like the teaser trailer. And like I kept showing all my friends, hey, this is what we're doing. I showed them the trailer, like so. I probably watched this scene probably upwards of 50 plus times.
That was a cut down version of the scene too.
Yeah,
like,
and it was still like long and lingering. I was like, oh my god, like I know what happens. But it's you're right. I do like this. I always said that You're Alone was probably the best one out of it. Well, it shows has most views out of all our videos. But when you first showed me it, and I was like, oh. This is good, and like, yeah, this is a slow pace, and like, I like this edit you did here with the music, like, kind of drowning out the things, like her thoughts and stuff.
My only complaint here is that the sound effect of the like board creaking totally just sounds like a fart. But I was too lazy to fix it. But you know that's the editing nightmare sometimes. And there's me. Look at me.
Look at that.
Looking like a. Looking like an idiot, just slowly walking away. I remember when you hadn't been in this.
I remember when you're right. I remember when you first like tried to edit this, and you wanted to make your eyes like glow white and make it look like creepy. Yeah. You were just like, too much work.
Yeah, and you know the simple thing is like I have white contact lenses now, and it would have been so easy for me to just go to a gas station, pick them up, and put them in. But no, too cheap and lazy because this was the end of my college career. I had no money. This was shot with no money. And it's kind of amazing that we got as many locations as we did to shoot at because like we didn't have any money, and like we shot this scene at the Muncie Civic Theater, and they just kind of let us use it, and that was really cool.
We had zero. Like when I said executive producer, that mostly means like the person put the most money into this.
Yeah.
When I said executive producer for this film, it's the person who like, because like you got this shot. You were the one that set up the Civic Theater. Mm-hmm. I set up the last part. Well, we both lived in the house. I set up the forest with like the chasing forest thing at my friend John's house, and I got like half the cast. I got Foxy to join on, and it's basically just all just, hey, would you do me a favor?
Jeff was like the connections guy in this. I love that silhouette of the Pumpkin Man, but this was right here. This is a happy accident where we, in editing, the music just happened to match his beating the knife against his head.
I don't even know why I did that, to be honest with you. I was just like,
because I thought it looked cool. You did it when you were just like standing there, and I was like, that was cool. Do that. And it just happened to match and here's my obsession with starting scenes with people entering rooms, like a door swinging open. I don't know why I find it such a satisfying transition. I use it so much.
You really do. Like, it should be a drinking game to the Pumpkin Man. Anytime someone opens a door or comes through a door.
And there it is again. But this is Josh's apartment. And originally the lights weren't supposed to be flickering here.
That's me.
But we just wanted to like unplug that, and we found out that if you jitter it in the outlet, it was flickering, and it looked really cool. So
I'm in the background flickering the fuck out of it.
Now that sounded wrong. Now this is this scene is a direct recreate, and Jeff said this in his director's commentary for the Pumpkin Man 2. We recreated a lot of scenes from the original Pumpkin Man in this film. So this is like ripped straight out of the end of the Pumpkin Man 1, and Josh always kind of jokes that this one is really like a soft reboot of the first film.
It really is.
Yeah, like you can watch just the Pumpkin Man 3 without watching a single other one of the Pumpkin Man movies.
Because in this one you try to get the back. I love that pip hand. Because this one we try to get a background, like a backstory to the Pumpkin Man, and like we didn't try to do that to other ones. We just made like a short film for like school, and so.
Yeah, and that's worth mentioning. This is the only one that wasn't
we just did for fun.
Made for class up until this point. Yeah, this one was made for fun. Now, fun fact, you might watch the scene and just kind of ask yourself, why is there a dog there? So
that was the weekend I had to babysit my dog. So
that was the weekend he had to babysit his dog, and that dog, if you lock it up, it will not be silent for a minute. So instead of trying to hush the dog, we just had it on set and prayed that it didn't make any noise.
Yeah,
and he did. He's a good
boy.
Yeah,
he's when he's like excluded from things, he makes noise. So he was fine on set.
Now I didn't do a good job explaining this.
Yeah, this is the part where like it was like, I like all of my friends who watched it were like kind of confused. I had to like kind of whisper to them like, this is what's going on.
I didn't do a good job of explaining that this is my character's room, not Alex's character's room. This isn't Erica's room, it's Steven's room. And she's not looking at her phone, she's looking at Steven's phone. So, which wouldn't that have been confiscated with evidence or something? God, we didn't think about it.
Hey, shut up. Yeah, it should have been hiding somewhere. Like, well, it was on a charger, so what is evidence? It wasn't on him, so it's fine.
That's true.
Yeah, we didn't tell that Erica was Kayla's character's name or whatever.
Abby was
Abby.
Erica's, or Kayla's character's name.
Another thing we need to do is stop making basic ass white girl names.
Sorry,
and, like, white
my
boy
bad.
Names. Like we need to make like one they call like D'Angelo.
Now this scene is I actually really like your performance in this scene.
Bullshit.
No, I'm serious. Like, I think that you and Alex did a good job acting off of each other. I also really like the camera work in this. If I'm gonna pat myself on the back, um, like it does. I like the way the camera like kind of moves with Alex's like um, antsiness, I guess. But that slap is so weak.
Ben's face. Every time it gets me.
Now-
And to cover up the Adidas with the tape. Oh my god.
Now
They're so cheap.
the the funny thing about this part is there's an edit. Well, it's not an edit; it's a take where as Jeff and Ben are walking out of the apartment, Ben just leisurely says, "Let's bounce," and we thought it was the funniest thing for the longest time.
Because coming from his mouth, it was the funniest thing for the longest time.
Let's bounce.
Good times.
I remember I almost forgot to shoot this scene. This was another one of those scenes done in that like 8-hour day, and yeah, I almost forgot to shoot a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Oh shit. Jorge's. That's the most calm reaction to a dead body I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, that's dead. Now, coming up here in a bit, like I said, on that 8-hour day, I forgot to shoot a lot of stuff. So there are some insert shots of Jeff here that
shot in different places.
Yeah, but they also break the 180 rule here in a second. The first one was fine, and it actually matched the scene pretty well.
Yeah.
But right here, they're both facing the same direction.
Oh,
it drives me crazy. I could.
I mean, it's kind of in this. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it does. And then he's like, right. Yeah.
Now this you mentioned this in your director's commentary, how we recreated that from.
It was a happy accident on my film shot, and they were like, "Oh, let's try to do this for the third one."
And it looks a lot better. Like you can tell we actually meant to do it this time.
Because in mine, it's kind of like a lighter shadow. This was a harsh shadow, and you can definitely tell.
You can tell we were like, let's try it for real this time.
And that line she said too, the one from the news, is a scene that we totally forgot to shoot with the whole.
Yeah, there was going to be a. I love that rack focus. I love that rack focus so much, where Jorge just says "run" and it quickly rack focuses to you. I remember we did that like 8 times.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, there was going to be a scene at the beginning of the film showing
a news clip.
Yeah, a news clip.
Yeah. And I had a person who was who had access to Bald State's news media room and stuff like that. But we just didn't have time to set up a scene just for her schedule. She's in a lot of stuff, and then she had a sorority. She had a dance thing, and I just was lazy. So
yeah, it got to be. I mean, this film, much. I don't think we ever intended it to be like as complicated as it ended up being. But
it was.
It grew so much, and like you could tell how much it had grown when we were at the premiere, which if you don't know, the Pumpkin Man Pumpkin Man 3, we did a premiere for this film. It was an event on Ball State's campus sponsored by the TCOM department at Ball State. And we had about 100 people show up, maybe 120. I remember some people were sitting on the seats or on the steps in the aisles, which was really cool.
The room itself, I think, when we looked it up, could fit 80, 85 people or something like that. And then it was like he said, there's people sitting on the steps and this.
but you could at that premiere,
this scene,
I
love
really
this scene.
Tell.
The premiere. It was a fun time. The premiere, I had a blast.
Yeah, that was really fun. I wish we had actually done recorded it so we could look back on it, but
we were tired.
But this scene is wonderful. And Jeff and Ben aren't trained actors.
Speak for yourself.
They're
put a mask. Me and Ben. Side note: me and Ben both took acting at Ball State for TV. It was specifically a TV acting class, and it shows here.
Yeah,
this is karma. This is better than George Clooney and Brad Pitt together.
But this was the best scare in the entire movie, because no one saw it coming. I remember hearing
this line. What the hell?
I remember hearing my just like I was on the edge of my seat for the most of the premiere because I was like, is this scare gonna land? Is this joke gonna land? And this one, I just kind of relaxed and I was like, I know I'm about to scare the shit out of a lot of people in this theater.
I
and
know
sure
my
enough,
mom.
A lot of people screamed.
My mom was like, "Oh, my baby."
Oh yeah, you were. Your mom was sitting right behind us.
Yeah,
and she screamed. Now this scene, this is a lesson for anyone who wants to shoot on a DSLR. If you are looking for a budget microphone, do not get a Rode VideoMic. Get a Rode VideoMic Pro, because this scene gave me hell because we shot this with the microphone plugged directly into the DSLR, and the preamps on DSLRs are terrible. And with the regular Rode VideoMic, you can't do anything about the recording levels on the mic itself. But with the Rode VideoMic Pro, you can. And actually, real quick, this Doris Logan email, that was an abandoned storyline from an abandoned film called The Pumpkin Man Origins that we were going to make, but we never ended up doing because we just didn't have time.
Yep.
Back to the microphone. Rode VideoMic Pro, you can boost the recording level by 20 decibels, and then you can drop the recording level on your DSLR by like 12 or however low it will go, and it will sound crystal clear and not have any white noise in the background, and it'll be a good time. But the Pumpkin Man Origins, we had every intention of making, we just didn't have the time, or because that was after I graduated, and I would have had to go down to Ball State multiple times to even film it because Jeff was still down there.
Yeah. Well, me, Jorge, Ben was in Indy.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, I think it kind of confused people, this part, because, just this random email. And actually, you could see on the email, under where it said trap, it says like it was sent from Ryan Sheets.
Hey, it's just an Easter egg. That's all it is.
Yeah,
it's just an Easter egg. Yeah, like my big ass picture in the background. These are my fingertips.
Now this
was
I don't
a long
know what
shoot.
happened. Yes, it was.
The
but
night
I don't know
at
what
the
happened with this. This, like, for the most part in this film, the camera work is really good. But once we get to Oregon Trail, it is so jittery. And I shot this on this cheap rig from, I think, Target. And it's bad. I mean, the camera's everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot more noticeable now, probably because you have your Ronin, and then we use my shoulder rig for the Pumpkin Man Returns, and it gets you a pretty. Yeah, that right there is horrible.
Yeah, it's so bad, and
you don't notice this so when when you film it and like you're editing it because you're so excited for having it like released.
Yeah,
but like after you take a while, like it's been what 2 years or a year since actually it's only been a year, 2 years since we released this.
It's been 2
years,
almost 2. April 27th was when it came out, so it's almost 2.
Oh, wow. Almost 2 years since we released this, and you've done the returns, Pumpkin Man versus Creepy, and you do stuff with Lancet, and you just kind of like can tell that. Like, but at the time, you're just like so excited. Creepy little white girls, what the fuck?
But still, I think with the amount of time that we had, and the end result, it's not bad. Like,
oh no.
I can forgive a little shaky camera. I think it's more noticeable because, like, you can just tell I am trying so hard to keep it still.
Yeah.
But, I really love the lighting in that shot of Alex. That backlight looks really cool.
Aw, this is so cute. Take her hand, Jorge.
Yeah, nothing bad will happen to you. Nothing.
Alex is the angel of death. Everyone she loves just dies.
I love the sound effect that I put in there. It just really sounded like he was ripping that blade out of the back of Jorge's head. I dug that so much. Now, I forgot to mention that like the last shot was basically a exact like carbon copy of a shot from the first Pumpkin Man. Like I said, we did a lot of callbacks from the first movies.
I kind of like this part.
Yeah, where he's just like, "Oh, sorry, boss." The actual impact of the giggle stick hitting you didn't really land as well as I wanted it to.
Yeah,
it's fine. And one thing that's really interesting is, so a storm went through Muncie right before we filmed this, and it knocked the power out at the Oregon Trail, and we were running lights and everything off of one single generator, and you can still hear it, but you can barely hear it in this scene because if you don't use Audition, you should. It's a very powerful software and will get rid of a lot of bad noise. I do love this shot of Creepy. I think it's really, really cool looking.
Yeah, it is. It is an army of white women.
and my excellent expertise in adding muzzle flashes. Oh man, they look so good. They don't look terrible, but no. They could look better.
Oh, I
remember that gun was just like a cheap $10 gun we got from.
And we spray painted it.
Yeah, we just spray painted it.
This is the part that I was driving.
Yeah,
so this was.
I'm on the back of a Gator here.
So right now we're at my good friend John's house, and he has a Gator in his backyard. He's like has a bunch of acre woods and like trails and stuff. So we got in his Gator. I drove while Ryan was in the back. We did at least 3 times to get it right.
God.
And Foxy's a big guy. I just remember
Steven hurt his ankle.
Yeah.
In the process, and oh man, I felt so bad. But I love how you can just see the mask falling apart at this point.
Yeah.
For the first 3 films, we used the same mask. Actually, no, first 4 films, we used the same mask. The Pumpkin Man Returns was when we finally decided to stop being so cheap and
get a second mask.
and even then, we didn't get it. Michael did. He got it for the actual haunt. So that's what happens when you don't have money. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the Giggle Stick, he went from the Giggle Stick 1 in the previous scene to the Giggle Stick 2. I think that's kind of funny.
They switched, yeah.
Yeah, they switched colors.
Who cares?
Continuity, don't you?
Yeah, right.
I love the way this whole climax was edited. Especially this part right here where he shoots Creepy. I don't know what it is about that edit, but I really, really like it.
This part was amazing.
Oh yeah, and it's no secret that we just point the camera at Michael and let him do his thing. And there was even a line that I wanted so badly to put in there, but we couldn't stop laughing every time he said it.
This is my favorite part.
The Shoney's line.
I don't know why, but I thought that was the funniest shit in the world.
He's just a funny guy. And now this line that Steven says here about I'm going to turn you into pumpkin pie, that was improv. And originally, when they had suggested
an action
to do
movie kind of final line.
Yeah, when they had said, "Oh, he should totally say this," I was like, "No, God, no, please." And then he said it, and I put it in the edit to see how it worked, and I was like, "That's not too bad." But yeah,
I like the ending, the light and everything.
Oh yeah, it's really we got so lucky because it had been so cloudy and rainy in Indiana when we were going up to this shoot, and we got a break where it was really sunny. And as soon as we got there,
it's all cloudy in the background.
Oh yeah, as soon as we got there, we saw the sun setting, and we're like, okay, we need to shoot. We need to shoot this right now. So
this is not actually morning like it's portrayed. It's actually it's sunset, but we portrayed it as sunrise.
Yeah. We when we got there, we actually shot this whole sequence backwards.
Yeah.
So we shot this, and then we shot everything that you just saw. And right now you're probably not hearing any audio. That's because I have cut the audio out of this part because there's a copyrighted song that I only had permission to use once. But fun fact, the credits of this film. Now, this wasn't a template. I made these. And it was actually the first thing that I made. And I plugged in this song just to edit to something. And I ended up liking it so much that I had to use it, especially at this part right here where the title pops up. That sold it for me. I was like, I absolutely need this song, and I was able to clear it. And during the premiere, when this song was going on, as soon as the credits hit, everyone started applauding and did not stop applauding. And I mean, I still get goosebumps to this day thinking about it. Like, it's such a triumphant song to end on, and to have that reaction. I mean, did you have a similar experience to that?
Yeah, it was I can understand why actors and like people like that are like, you hear that they're assholes in real life, because like that's like that feeling of like clapping after like your work is put on display and people like it, and like you're like, oh, I'm the shit now. Like, oh, I can do that. So like, it was just a fun feeling. It was. I mean,
for me, it was a confidence boost. Gruff Salt,
Detective Patches.
But you know, for me, it was a real like, you know, moment of like, holy shit, you know, we accomplished this. I am so proud of what we just did, and they didn't think it sucked, so that's always good. So and that ant that you just saw, it took us forever to get that ant just to walk in front of the frame, and while we were trying to set up the shot, we were trying to move the ant and coerce him in the right direction, and Michael didn't realize what we were doing, so he just goes up and kicks the thing, and we're like, no, we needed that. And somehow that ant survived that kicking, and was able to make it in the movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
I love this post credit scene, mostly because
before we get to the I do want to. This looks real, like him cutting himself. It looks. I know I saw him do it, but it looks real.
Oh yeah, it looks super real. Yeah, but I really love the really dark tone of this post-credit scene. It doesn't match the rest of the movie because the rest of the movie was never that dark, but like you get into some like, you know, demonic like subject matter with that ending, because
Pumpkin Man is the best of both worlds. It's demonic, but it's also a slasher. So it's like, you know,
so he's basically unstoppable.
Yeah, but I do want to address one time. So the credits, the first name you see is Josh Amick as Gruff Saltwater. Yeah, my two friends from my fraternity, they did me a favor by being extras like those. The first person you see are those people that said, "I'll do it, but I want to be credited as Detective Patches and Gruff Saltwater." So.
Yep, and I wasn't paying them, so I was like, okay, might as well.
And looking back on that movie, I mean, it was kind of cringy to watch, but like when we first watched it in front of like that premiere, we didn't care, like we didn't think about this stuff. It just shows how much we've both evolved as like, you know, filmmakers. We can like call out our own stuff, and you know, we're not giving excuses to why like it was not
like
good.
The stuff that's bad, we'll straight up say that it's bad. And I'm sure in 2 years when we you know, because we're gonna do a director's commentary of Pumpkin Man Returns as well, like soon, but like in 2 years when we look back at Pumpkin Man Returns, we'll be like, this is crap, this is garbage. But as of right now, it's like the best thing that we've made. And you know, I do like watching the old Pumpkin Man movies just to, you know, see, like, just remember where we came from and how we got started with this whole Pumpkin Man thing. And
it's nostalgia, you know, basically.
It is.
I think back
there's
to
like a lot of
what?
Go ahead.
Oh, like shooting Pumpkin Man 1, I just had so many memories with Pumpkin Man series as a whole. I like the one thing I did not say to the people listening, how much the Pumpkin Man means to me. So I said at the beginning that this movie gave me high blood pressure. So so we had one more day to shoot, and we had to shoot the final the forest scene, all that stuff with the running and the climax. It was our last day of shoot, and the premiere was going to be 3 days after that or something like that. It was the week after that. So we had to shoot there because it only worked in Foxy's schedule, my schedule. It conversed on this one day. So I went to the hospital. I went to the Ball State medical thing because I had some weird rash. Too much information, but I had this weird thing, so I wanted to get it checked out. And then the nurse was like, "Hey, your blood pressure is abnormally high. I'm gonna take it again in 30 minutes." And she did. It was really high. She's like, "I think you should go to the hospital, the ER." I was like, "Why?" She was like, "Because this is for your age. This is way too high to be for someone your age." And I was just like, "No." First with that, I was like, how long am I gonna be in the hospital? She's like, "They might hold you overnight." I was like, oh no, give me some pills and I'm just gonna rest. So that's literally what she did, because I was like, I have this movie I'm filming. It's the last day, the last scene. I can't miss it. She was like, "Well, if this is gonna cause you stress, you shouldn't go." I was like, "What the fuck do you know?" And I took my pills and I slept.
The funny thing is, I guarantee you, because there was no direction for me for him to go. I was like, if you're about to die, you're about to die. I would rather you not die on my watch, because then it's my fault. So I was like, just we don't have to film.
No, and I was like, yeah, we do.
And I was saying that knowing full well, if we didn't film that day, the whole project was done. There was no going back. I knew that was our last day to shoot, because the college semester was running out.
Yeah, it was in April, late April.
Yeah, so everybody was getting focused on their finals, and their schedules were non-existent, and we had already set a premiere date. So I knew, saying that, Jeff, you got to take care of yourself before this freaking movie.
I literally just popped 2 pills, what she gave me. I sat down. I watched teens react all day, basically.
I remember that. Oh my god! And I have the video of me beforehand, before we went and shot, and I was like, it's the last day of filming of the Pumpkin Man 3, and then I show you I'm like, there he is in all of his glory, and you can hear the teens react to him in the background. But I mean,
it's important. I mean, back then, should I have gone to the hospital? Probably. I could have had a heart attack right there on the spot. I mean, and I was she said, take it easy. I took it easy all day, but I was running. And I was doing a fight scene. I was falling on the ground multiple times. I was being active, which probably wasn't the best for me. Yeah. But I got the shot. We got the shot, and it turned out really good. And I was like, you know what? What does a doctor know? She don't know shit.
That's one of those. That's one of those things. When you look at the commentary for Evil Dead or something, and they're like, yeah, we were using real glass. It's one of those things where you look back and you're like, we probably shouldn't have done that, but I'm glad we did.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen the trailer for the documentary that Jeff and I are producing, it's all about this and the Pumpkin Man. Showing where this came from and how much it really means to everyone that's ever been involved with it, because it's kind of an emotional subject for a lot of people, and it gets really deep. At this point, we're not YouTube fame or anything crazy that, but
no.
In Muncie, especially around the time of this releasing, we had gotten a bit of fame as the guys that do the Pumpkin Man movies.
Yeah, in Ryan's So Ryan did it for his class, and then we had the same professor. So I did it for my class. You have to pitch the idea, And so I pitched my teacher this idea from a professor, and he was like, "Oh," and the kids were like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And he was like, "If you didn't know, like this guy made a Pumpkin Man, so he's making a sequel." And between my pitch and my premiering of the video, people went out and saw Orion's on YouTube, and something, and like so like people, and then after that, people heard about us making Pumpkin Man 3 on campus because TCOM, it's like a tight. There's cliques in the Bell State TCOM department, but everybody is in everyone's business. Like everyone knows what everyone's doing. So I was just in like a random class, and he was like, are you going to film Pumpkin Man tonight? I was like, who the hell are you? And how do you know what's going on? That happened to Josh too. He was like sitting in class and just overheard someone talking about the Pumpkin Man. He turns around, he's like, I worked on those. Yeah, and then I think I told you the story how someone was just like, like the Pumpkin Man should like be like a TCOM, Ball State TCOM thing, like each class should do an iteration of Pumpkin Man. No, I told Ryan that. He was like, fuck off. I just remember him saying that. I was just like, I thought you would say that. Yeah, I remember you being like, I knew the second he said that your reaction would be like, nah, that's mine. Like, you don't play with my toys. No. Someone was like, because I can only imagine like someone, they're like, I'm gonna do a new take on the Pumpkin Man, and it's like a 4 foot tall, white, skinny Pumpkin Man. No, and the other part that's fun to kind of like talk about is so Josh was in our so I had other people, like you said, TCOM's a tight knit community, so you help with other projects. So I had someone host their project at my house, and the one thing I said, okay, you can film at my house, but I have to have this. And in his project, you can see the Pumpkin Man 3 poster in the background, and it popped up by us. And it was in Rich Swing. So this is all the same professor that like is seeing this. So he's seeing the Pumpkin Man at least, I don't know, like 6 times, like just pop up randomly in places in his throughout his class. So shout out Rich Swingley. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it was really cool. Like this project really, honestly, I consider this project like the birth of nautical films. We started doing, I mean, we weren't under the title of nautical films when we did the first Pumpkin Man 2, and Alone. That was 2908. Yeah, that was 2908. That was the working title of our company until one fateful January morning when I was like, I hate that name, and I Googled nauticalfilms.com for some reason, and it wasn't taken, and I was like, well, now it is. But it really brought everyone who's ever been a part of Nautical together, because it was such a big project. I mean, it spanned over 4 months of just constant shooting and editing and hair pulling outing, and it was very stressful. But for the people involved, we all look back on that now and we're just like, yeah, that was worth it. Like, it was fun. It was really fun, and I hope that we will get a similar experience in the future, but on a bigger scale. On a hopefully bigger scale that may or may not also have to do with the Pumpkin Man. But we're zipping the lip on that one. Pumpkin Man till we die. Pumpkin, it's like the ride or die shit. Pumpkin or die. Pumpkin or die. Pumpkin or die. Dude, let's get t-shirts. For the next crew. It's going to say Pumpkin or Die on the front and then production crew on the back. I feel like we've made so many t-shirt ideas that the t-shirt should be, hey, let's get a t-shirt on the t-shirt. Like, how many podcasts have we said, like, we should get a t-shirt of this? Yeah, that should be a t-shirt, man. Let's make it a t-shirt. Honestly, if my mom's listening right now, she's like punching a hole through a wall because she hates how many t-shirts I have. And I'm just like, hey, let's make a t-shirt. Let's do this. Oh my god, Sam, Sam, my clothes are taking up three rooms as we speak in my house. So yeah, I mean, I have 2 dressers and they're mostly full of t-shirts. So whoops. Well, we got off on a tangent here.
We did, but it'll all be fun. So I hope you have enjoyed. Oh God, keep on hitting that. I hope you've enjoyed our in-depth look into the Pumpkin Man 3, and I hope to do both me and Jeff's commentary on the next two as well, because these are our projects, and it's never just like this one is mine and this one is yours. Like, we share these experiences, and we contribute equally to them. So, expect to hear Jeff on the next two as well, because I like his insights, because it's the softer side of Jeff. It's the more serious side of Jeff that he doesn't show very often.
Yeah. And we're done with that. I hate being serious. Ask my girlfriend and my mother.
You could ask me too. I know. But I will say this: when it comes to business, you are serious. So at least
I don't play with my money.
What money?
So true. I'm so broke.
We're laughing, but we're also crying.
K. Roger does not pay me enough.
Okay, so look out for more of these, and as well as Carving a Pumpkin, the making of the Pumpkin Man, and hopefully some more exciting announcements that we have up our sleeve. I think we've got some cool things in the works, so
yeah,
keep a lookout for that, and I hope you have enjoyed this commentary.